for life.
We're going on a one-night trip this weekend up into the Werrikimbe National Park. It's not too far from where we live. So we're going to drive out through the town of Wauchope and Beechwood, and then up the Hastings Forest Way into the mountains, up into the Werrikimbe National Park. It's kind of on the edge of the Oxley Wild Rivers National Park, but I don't think it's part of it. We're going to do a bit of four-wheel driving up there, camp up there somewhere tonight. Tomorrow we're going to head down into the Cells for some four-wheel driving. We're going to do some different tracks to what we did last time on that last video. We're down at Wilson River here. We just had a bit of lunch. It's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it might be dark by the time we get to camp. Just spent a couple of hours checking out. There's 2 waterfalls here. They're really cool.
I think 2 hours.
It's a bit of a walk to them. I think it's 1.5 k each way. Do you reckon, was that 1.5 k each way or total?
It was 15,000 meters.
It was pretty far.
It was 15,000 meters. Yeah. There was a sign.
No, it said 1,500.
Oh.
Not 15,000. It's not 15 kilometers.
Yeah, it's 15,000 kilometers.
But yeah, 2 really cool waterfalls down there.
Well, another one up the hill that was bigger, and the biggest one was like 70 meters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a small one. What was that small one, you reckon? 8 meters?
Yeah, something like that.
And then the bigger one, you're saying 60, 70 meters. The big one was huge. See that big tree there?
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
The yard, that's a big stream of the feet doing this thing. Massive up. I was only up here not long ago. I'm sort of.
Check out how cool the waterfall is.
Wow.
I don't remember it being this big. Wow, this is awesome. The water should be a nice 13, 14 degrees.
Dad, what are you doing?
Going for a swim, you coming?
No.
You go first. I'm frozen. It's so cold. Can't swim. Have a brain freeze. It's August and we're on the end of a pretty cold winter. Had a lot of nights lately that are under 0 degrees. This runs from up in the mountains. Freezing. We've been told by people a couple of times now that just behind the waterfall there where we just were, up behind it is an even bigger waterfall. We don't really know how to get there. We're kind of following this thing that looks like a track. Massive.
You wouldn't expect that up here.
Look how big this waterfall is, Kai. You wouldn't expect it. Just up behind that little one down there, if you climb up around the edge of it, bit of a steep climb up the rocks, and just up behind you got this massive waterfall. Look how clear the water is. We need to come back here in summer. I got my Aussie hiking boots on.
No, you don't.
We are up here at Wilson River now, having a bit of lunch. This morning we drove up out through Wauchope, up this Hastings Forest Way all the way up to Wilson River. And we just checked out those couple of waterfalls here. And now we're going to follow this road all the way up into the mountain. It turns into Racecourse Trail, which is a 4-wheel drive only track up through there. It's nothing too hard, but it's a good track. All this so far has just been dirt road. Now I think we're going to camp over here at the Mooraback campground tonight, and then tomorrow we'll come back out onto the highway and over the other side into the cells, which is in this area here. You ready to head off, Kai? We'll start heading up the mountain. I say it'll be pretty cold tonight.
I'm sort of scared.
The weather, I think the weather says it's going to be about 0 degrees.
0 degrees.
We have myself and Malachi in my car.
I just ate my shield.
And then my dad's over there in his MUX. Just aired down the tyres. This road's pretty easy going, but I'd always do it on these dirt roads. Just makes it so much smoother. You just shake to death otherwise.
I have a shield.
So what, do you let them down with a stick and then you check them after?
Yeah, let them down with a stick and count to about 30, but I'm done on this one because I just lost it.
We continued along Hastings Forest Way to make our way towards Mooraback campground for the night. Things didn't exactly go to plan. I've been flying drones for about a year now, and I've never crashed one before, but I knew it had to happen one day. This was the Mavic Air, the newer drone I had, and it has sensors all around it, but it doesn't have sensors straight above it, so as I was sending it up, it just went straight into a tree. It was a fair way up in the tree, and wasn't going to be an easy task to get it back down. It was getting late in the day, and the sun was on its way down, and we weren't sure whether we were going to be able to get it back before dark. My first thought was to throw something up to try and knock it down, but I couldn't throw it high enough, it was just too far up. After trying a few different things, and none of them working, Dad came up with the idea of throwing the winch rope up over the branch, so then we could shake it down. Throwing a winch rope is actually not very easy. It took a good 30 to 40 minutes of throwing, and one very sore arm, before I eventually managed to get it up over the branch, loop back down, and then I was able to shake the branch.
Tell me when you're ready.
Wait a sec. Oh, man. Wait a sec. It was falling, and I'm thinking, but it was sort of hung up.
You ready?
Yep. Oh, victory, buddy. Man, like a cushion.
It's all still good, it looks like.
An hour and a half later, we were on our way again, stoked that I didn't lose the drone. The sun had gone down and it was getting dark quick. We knew it was going to be pretty late by the time we got to camp. The drive-through racecourse trail is all easy going. You could do it in any four-wheel drive. I don't think you really even need low range. But it's a beautiful drive through the mountain range with a few creek crossings and hills. Unfortunately, because it was dark when we drove through it, we did miss out on some of the scenery and things you see along the way. But I still love four-wheel driving through the night, so I wasn't unhappy. one last creek crossing and we arrived at Mooraback camp. It was awesome because we were the only ones camping there that night. We got a big fire going to keep us warm. It was about -2 last night, so it's pretty fresh. All these paddocks have turned to ice this morning. It looks super cool as the sun's coming up over them.
Hello. Hello. Come on, go. It's a fire monster. Never happened to me.
We were the only ones at this campsite last night. We had the whole place to ourselves. This is the Mooraback campground. I think it's called Mooraback Rest Area, but it's a campground. It's in the national park, Werrikimbe National Park. Beautiful spot. So cold, but
My gumboots frosted when I got up, but the fire just melted all the frost.
yeah, your gumboots are frozen.
Yeah, but
There's ice over everything this morning.
yeah.
The part of the car's frozen.
You probably can't see. Now you can. There you go. Ah. It has real ice on it.
There's a big pile of wood over just there, which is sick.
Look at this leaf. Look how much frost it has. We had a green one with like way more, like all this would have frost and like all this side would have frost. Way more.
Birdie. What type of bird's that guy? No, it's not a crow. I think it's a currawong. It has white on it.
What if I join to your team quick enough? What? Can you, I need to...
We packed up camp and made our way out of the Mooraback campground in the Werrikimbe National Park over towards the cells to do some four-wheel driving for the day. We decided to take a different road into the cells, one we hadn't done before. Didn't really get much use this road, so it's quite overgrown in places. A few logs, sticks, things across the road. We're making our way down into the cells now, off the Oxley Highway. After we came out of that Fenwick road, we came down Walker Mountain maybe, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. Then we turned off, head into the cells. Taking this road we haven't taken before, it's Convict Road, I think, Convict Road. You know, it's a shortcut, so it means it's about 5 times as long as any other track. We got this big log across here now, we think we can drive over it. We're just putting a few sticks to make it a bit easier. We're nearly through this track and then we'll start heading down into the cells. I think I need something here to get the left wheel up.
Yeah, that's
There's
right.
a couple of things there, just to get the right wheel should be alright.
Yeah.
And the left wheel's just going to slide otherwise.
What, all this here?
Yeah, keep coming, Matt. Yeah. Yeah, it's all looking good. So that's the end of that, I guess.
Wouldn't that make us spin?
We're right near the end.
Yeah, how many times is that?
It nearly looks like you can nearly fit under it. It's not like forever off,
Yeah.
but you can't. We're right near the end of coming out of this track, and huge tree. It always seems to happen on these tracks. You get right near the end and there's a huge tree. It's too big to cut down, take too long. It's massive. So I guess we're going all the way back. But at the end of the track's only just up that hill there. But there's nothing else we can do except go back out all the way out to the highway, and then back around and come back in and come out just up there. So we had no choice but to turn around and go back the way we came, and that was a lot easier said than done. On some of these tight tracks there's just nowhere to turn around. After about 10 minutes of reversing, I eventually found a spot where I figured I could turn the car around. Coming back out this Convict Road now, Old Convict Road, we got right up to like just here, and that's where that log was. Now we got to come all the way back out to the road, not too far, but you know, it's still 20 minutes back out, back up the road, and then back down this other one.